politics, business, sports, arts, music. Mike and Marty on the feed. Mike and Marty. Mike and Marty on the feed. Mike and Marty. Mike and Marty on the feed. Mike and Marty.
Good morning, Bellows Falls and Keene, and welcome to the feed. It's Mike and Marty. We're here with our special guest today, Charlie Hunter.
Who's always a special
He's
guest.
always special. And he's going to talk with, we're going to talk together about an event he has coming up and maybe get to some other stuff. And
That would be great fun.
yeah, great fun.
So on Friday, December 12th at the library from 7 to 8, you're going to be having a conversation.
With Matthew Hung Ling.
Thank you for saying that. Either Mike or I wanted to
we
do
were
that.
both afraid to try.
The name just trips off the tongue.
So what made you decide to do this?
Well, Matthew Hung Ling is an author who lives up in the around Norwich or somewhere up there. And he used to be a reporter for the Valley News. And a few years ago, I walked into Village Square Books, and I found A Libertarian Walks Into a Bear, the utopian plot to liberate an American town and some bears. Now, how could one resist buying that book? I bought it, and it is hilarious and so smart and so much fun. It's the true story. When he was a reporter at the Valley News, he reported on Grafton, New Hampshire, which is this small town that got taken over by libertarians in the early 2000s. And it predated the Free State movement, which is the libertarians attempting to take over New Hampshire. But this is the Free Town movement, and they succeeded in becoming a very dominant force in this small town of Grafton. What Hung Ling writes about is what happens when societal norms get removed. So what happens to a small town when there's no longer any functioning government? And what happened was the local bear population exploded.
Oh,
and
interesting.
No one knew, since there was no longer any centralized way of dealing with the bear population. Everybody was dealing with bears differently. There were some people who, when the bears came, would throw firecrackers at them. There's some people who obviously shot bears and didn't tell anybody. There were some people who were giving bears donuts. The donut lady, who was talked about in the book, just referred to as the donut lady. So it's a fascinating view into what might happen. Now,
And it gives me chills just thinking about the parallel to our current situation with our national government.
Well, that is what Hung Ling writes about in all of his books. He's got 3 books. The Libertarian book, a book called If It Sounds Like a Quack, which is about what happens when people no longer get their information from science.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then his new one is The Ghost Lab, which is about paranormal investigators over on New Hampshire's seacoast who are supposedly trying to use the scientific method to prove the existence of ghosts. And one of them is now a faculty member at the University of New Hampshire. So it's what happens when what happens when things fall apart is what Hung Ling writes about. Now you might ask why December 12th at the Rockingham Free Public Library?
Why December 12th at the Rockingham Free Public Library?
Because as you know, in my other a volunteer project that I spend a lot of time on is Bellows Falls Opera House stuff. That weekend of the 12th and 13th, there is an event. A libertarian food festival is going on. It's celebrating small town agriculture, local agriculture, but very much with a libertarian bent. And I am not a huge. I totally support their being able to do their event, but I myself am skeptical of libertarianism. Just put it that way. So I contacted Matthew Hung Ling and I said, "Would you like to come down and do an event at the library. And he said he may have to wear a disguise, but he would be happy to.
So for those of us that, or maybe I'm the only one, can you just explain, I think I get the gist of libertarianism, but can you just go a little more into it for the camera?
Sure. Libertarianism is the idea that the government that governs best governs least. It sounds very logical. It's very attractive to people with kind of highly abstract minds, you know. And in theory, it sounds like it ought to work. But it requires, the gist of the book is what happens when it's actually put into practice, which is it doesn't work. It doesn't work because when you've got something like a bear population spike, there needs to be kind of a logical, coordinated response. There are things that
Government
many of us,
serves a purpose.
Right, many
Yes.
of us believe government serves a purpose.
Yeah.
And one of the interesting characters in this book is a guy named John Babiars, who is kind of perpetual libertarian candidate in New Hampshire for Senate or governor or something. But he is the fire chief. He becomes the fire chief in this town.
That's an odd, because the fire department is a political.
Statist. That the libertarians
Yes.
call things statist.
Oh, okay, it is definitely.
It's
I mean,
statist, yeah.
I mean, some people would say it's socialist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there is a scene in this where the libertarians are having a hot dog roast with a barbecue grill that is too close to a building. And the police chief calls the fire chief to put the fire out. And the libertarians are outraged when Babiars shows up and actually puts the fire out because he's taking sides against freedom of choice. So libertarianism is a wonderful abstract idea that does not work very well in practice, in my
But
opinion.
I don't understand why he said he would have to wear a disguise. I would think he would find green fields here. I mean, there are a lot of like-minded people who.
Oh, I think just because of the libertarians who are going to be at the food festival.
Oh, okay.
So,
The whole idea of a libertarian food festival too is a little bit.
well,
So how do you pair those things?
It tracks, I think.
the-
The guy who's putting it on is a fellow named Graham Merriweather, who's a very intelligent and personable guy. You should have him on. He can explain it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I mean, the idea is small-scale agriculture. You know, people, but the libertarian aspect of it is stuff like people wanting to sell raw milk.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Okay.
government doesn't tend to think
Yeah.
that's a good idea, you know, and libertarians think it's a great idea. So
Interesting.
So you were going to have this conversation in the
Yeah.
upstairs of the library?
yeah, they've got a wonderful meeting room.
Yeah.
And I mean, a town library is very statist. Because we all support
You're right.
with
It
our
is. It is.
taxes.
It's another one of those things.
Yeah, but I think it's great. Just that it is available. I contacted the library and I said, I'd like to do this. And they were like, absolutely, the space is available to you. And it's available to anybody out there who's got something they think is worthy. And we're going to have Village Square Booksellers is getting some of Matthew Hung Ling's books in. And they will be having them available.
Will
at
they have
the-
a signing too?
I'm sure he'll be happy to sign them.
Great.
I'll be happy to sign them.
So we could get 2 signatures for the price of
Yeah.
one. Why not? Why not?
How long do you imagine you'll be having the conversation?
Well, I have to think about exactly, I guess I'll come up with some prompts. I suppose we'll have him do a reading from the book
Ah.
and then have a little conversation about it and then have a Q&A. You know, he must be a really interesting guy because
sounds-
everything he posits in his books I just find fascinating. If it sounds like a quack book, the book about the medical system, the way he writes it is he follows like 12 people, each of whom believe they have discovered the one true cure. It's the ivermectin
Oh,
guy.
yeah, those-
It's the injecting bleach guy. It's a woman who believes in leeches. It's, all this sort of stuff.
So, obviously, he wrote these books prior to the current government situation.
The libertarian book, I think, came out in 2021. The If It Sounds Like a Quack came out in 2023.
Oh,
And so
okay.
he does talk about Trump a lot in it, but he refers to him only as the game show host. So, and then the Ghost Lab came out this summer. So, yeah, I'll be fascinated to hear what he has to say about the current situation. But I think it's going to be a really
It sounds
fun little
fascinating.
event.
Yeah, it's gonna be
So
really good.
come to it, come to it. It's only from 7 to 8, and then we can all go frolic in the snow.
There we go.
There you go.
I think it's funny because I usually have a certain genre of book that I stick to, and I don't get very adventurous beyond that genre, and I'm actually intrigued.
Oh, and it's so funny. That's the nice thing about it. You can the incident I just happened to open to the
Okay.
incident about the libertarian fire chief being told to put out the disagreement over the campfire took a critical turn with the arrival of Babiars. That's the perpetual libertarian candidate. As the libertarian fire chief parked the fire truck, partially blocking traffic on Route 4, Barksy and his work crew perked up. Barksy and Babiars had been at libertarian potlucks together just the week before, and now the would-be governor was in a position to denounce what Barksy saw as blatant state meddling. Babiars dragged one end of a fire hose over to the weenie roast, walking past Barksy without making eye contact. "Hey, John," said Barksy, "how come you don't want to say hi?" In the background, one of Barksy's friends, another libertarian named Russell Canning, said, "Mike, I don't know if you even want to keep talking to that guy." As Canning spoke, Babiars stopped and smiled quizzically at Barksy, trying to suss out whether the words from his fellow libertarians were in jest or in earnest. Somewhat awkwardly, Babiars explained he intended to extinguish the cooking fire. "This is a Class 2 fire danger day, and it's kind of dry here," said Babiars. He just gestured toward the nearby shed. "And the law says this has to be at least 50 feet away from the building if it's a campfire." "It's not a campfire," said Canning. "What is it?" said Babiars. "I am burning debris," replied Canning, who at that very moment was roasting a hot dog over the flames.
So it literally is a book of you can't make this stuff up.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's like that to me. That's the fun. Some of the funniest
Yes,
stuff
yes.
when they're true stories and you can sit back and look at this true story and be like, yeah, I can't make this stuff up because it's so crazy.
No, but it's also so
Entertaining.
small town America. I mean, we can recognize all
Yes,
these
yes,
characters.
all the characters.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that since you're having it at the Opera House, I mean
No.
the Opera House is booked on that night. So that's when the
That's
food
when
festival.
the Libertarian Food
Oh, okay.
Festival is going on at the Opera House.
Okay.
Yeah. So little counter programming.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's lots and lots of good stuff coming up at the Opera House. Let's, before we end, we should
Yeah,
just
no,
jump
yeah,
over to that.
definitely.
Yes. So yes, please tell us. Talk a little bit about the Ray Masuko concert series. What year is this? Year 4?
23 was the first year, so 24, 23, 24, 25, and now 26, fourth year.
Wow.
Yep. Well, first in December, this week, we've got the Follies.
Right.
Bellows
Right,
Follies
tomorrow.
on
Bellows Follies, of
Thursdays.
course. Yeah.
Then on Friday, we have Sweet Baby James, the James Taylor tribute. He'll be back for his third year. That's a great concert, ladies and gentlemen. If you're looking for something to do Friday, highly, highly recommend it. Then we've got Ashway Lot Concerts, which is the classical music series. That is Sunday the 14th. Then Little Lies, which is a Fleetwood Mac tribute on the 5th of January.
And we went and saw them. They're very good too.
They're
They
terrific.
nailed all of the. I didn't realize how many Fleetwood Mac songs I knew until they were just playing them. I'm like, I know all these songs. I know the words, singing along. It was great.
It's great. It's great having this variety of live events along with all the movies. I mean, we've got Wicked for Good is playing now, and then the Avatar sequel
Oh, really?
will
Wow.
be coming. And then the Masuko series in 2025, the first concert of 2026. The first concert will be On a Winter's Night, which is 4 well-beloved Northeastern singer-songwriters, Patty Larkin, Cliff Eberhardt, John Gorka, and Lucy Kaplansky. That's January 8th, and that is selling well. And then the next shows in the series, we just got the contract so we can announce Garrison Keillor
That's
from
awesome.
Prairie
He was
Home
so
Companion is
good
coming
that
back. Yeah.
2 years ago he was here. Or
Yeah.
this past last year he was here.
Exactly.
That was amazing.
And he's bringing his pianist, Rich Dworsky, who was always on Prairie Home Companion.
Oh, nice,
So it'll be
yeah.
the two of them. So we've got to rent a expensive
Grand.
piano for that one. And then Fred Eaglesmith will be back in the
I
fall.
heard that. When was the last time Fred was actually did a concert here in town?
I think like 2018.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And he now looks like Yosemite Sam.
Oh, really?
So he'll be back. His show was gonna be in May, but with the government shutdown and stuff, his work visa was expiring, and they weren't sure. It used to take a month to get, and it now takes 6 months to get. So they
Hold up
just
that
thought
boat.
it was better. Right, exactly. Those darn statists. And so he thought it was better to move it to the fall. So then we have
Yeah.
a fourth concert that I still have to get nailed down,
Nice.
but it's coming together.
Wonderful.
And you're pleased with, like, I think, are you finding the Ray Masuko, like, the concert series is growing? People are getting more used to the fact there's concerts and they can look forward to it, and the word's getting out more?
Yeah, I think it's the integration of live and special events with the movies is proceeding very smoothly. And we've got a great program of family movies and stuff. You say, Jen.
Jen's
had
gonna
great-
come on and talk about it right before, the
Right.
week before the school closes, so that it'll be fresh in people's minds.
A
Yeah.
week of free movies in the afternoons, yeah. And then the classic movie series is doing great. Yeah, I think things are integrating really, really well. And we have our beloved town manager, Scott Pickup, to thank for really helping move things
Yeah,
forward.
he's-
You know, he's done such a
It's
great
gonna
job.
be missed.
He'll
Yeah.
be missed.
And it's interesting because we go to a lot of different concerts, and it's nice. I think it's a very important asset to a town when you have an opera house and it's used, and it seems like we have been able to create the best of both worlds. We can have movies here, first run movies, inexpensive, local, easy access, but that can't pay the rent.
Right.
And especially with, streaming and all of the things that are, movies aren't quite the same. And a lot of the movies are streaming like 2 weeks after they come out. So
Yeah.
that's really hard. That's really tough. So having the entity Red and having the town on board to create another option, really gives us the best of both worlds.
Yeah, no, I think it really fulfills the mission of the Opera House, which is to be affordable entertainment for families. And Jen and Tim do a great job of booking accessible movies, and then the special events, which make each special event makes maybe $400 to $600. It's hard to really separate it out, but the movies lose a little bit of money, and the special events make a little bit of money. So overall, the deficit that the Opera House runs at has been cut in half in the last year.
That's
So
great.
I don't think it'll ever be profitable, but also what a economic driver for the downtown.
Oh, yeah.
That was my
having the
next
special
thing.
events.
Had the special events bring people in for the restaurants, the shops.
Exactly.
Just for people, even if they don't even if a shop is closed when they come into town for the concert, they would notice it and maybe come back
Right.
when it's open. Just exposure. We can never have enough exposure.
Very much so.
Yeah, and no one else is doing it. That's the thing that's so unique here. I can't remember who I was talking to, but it was like Burlington is now wants to get another movie theater because they don't have a
Right, well-
sit-down movie theater.
Well, what is it? Claremont doesn't have a movie theater
Yeah.
anymore.
No, they don't anymore. They do have the Opera House, but
Right.
they don't do both there. They just
Right.
do events at their Opera House.
Yeah, and I believe our Opera House special event programming has been doing better. We're doing very well in comparison with how surrounding towns are doing. So,
Well, you sell out. I mean, it's
well, we don't sell out. Selling out is 553 seats.
okay.
The most
It's hard to. I don't. Well,
it
I
looks
have
full.
it looks full.
It,
How's
it
that?
looks fine once there are 150 people or more in the Opera House. The VSO, the Vermont Symphony concert in November, that was 440.
Wow.
James McMurtry was 420. Jorma Kaukonen was 450. So that it looks full when you've got 450 in a 550 seat room.
That's good.
That's excellent.
Very good.
Looking full is better than looking empty.
Exactly.
All right.
So
What
that's.
else do we need to talk about?
Do you want to talk anything about update people quickly on the diner,
On the diner, well, we had the last diner dinner.
which was
and
delicious, by the way?
The Moose do such
They
a
do an
good
amazing job. They really do. It's yummy food.
We're going to be doing 3 more diner dinners in 2026, and that's where we do updates on the project. Where the project is now is it is not in our hands at the moment. It is the whole proposal is at the National Park Service. And as a very statist organization,
Oh, I know.
but it has been decimated, the National Park Service. So there's
Yes.
probably one guy who's having
One guy with a stack of stuff like
Exactly.
this.
And
Yeah.
we're somewhere in that pile. We cannot do anything until the National Park Service
Oh.
signs off. And once they sign off on the plan, then we can move the diner and get the restoration of the car underway.
And I think that's important. I say this every time some project comes up, but I think it's important to reiterate, anytime you take on a project like that, it's a process. And people get frustrated that have never done this process. And I see comments on different posts, why isn't this done? And why isn't that done? And how come you're not doing this? And it's been years. It's a process. If you're asking other people to help you pay for something and granting and state agencies and, what is the saying? There's no free money. There is, you can get free money, but you have to jump through a lot of hoops, and it is a process.
Right.
And people just have, as long as the group that's working on it keeps their eye on the prize, you should be thanking those people that do that, because it's a lot. It's a lot of work.
It's been so much more work. And, well, it's not been more work. It's just been so much slower. And it's a different kind of work than I thought it was going
Yeah,
to be when I got involved in it.
Wicked fun, huh?
But we've got a good team. I mean, our
We do.
project manager, Andrew Dye, is terrific. And then our board is solid. And, and community support has been fantastic.
Yeah.
So I understand people being like, well, they haven't done
Yeah.
anything with it, just sitting there. We can't do anything with it because we're getting money. There's no private money that would justify renovating that diner.
Nobody's going to come in with the money that you need.
No.
Private money's going to come in with the money that you need to do that, and then it's just not going to happen.
But we're going to make it. The project is moving forward.
I have 100% faith.
Yes.
Wonderful. So we are out of time, believe it or not.
It goes so
It
fast.
goes
It
so
does.
fast when we chat here. So just remind everybody, when is this?
It is Friday, December 12th. Matthew Hung Ling in a conversation about libertarians, Grafton, New Hampshire, bears. You got to be there.
Perfect.
All right.
Bye,
We'll
community.
see you later, community.
Mike and Marty on